When you know it, we have a tray again. It's a very convenient thing to have back. Actually, that's a lie. It's been a very convenient thing to not have here because, you know, this is all the space I have underneath the hoist. So not having this laying around here has actually been a bonus lately. Nonetheless, it's back, so we better jump right into it. And jumping into it, I certainly have. So the sandblasting is only on the inside of the tray and the underside of the tray. Didn't do the sides. I don't want to upset any of that. We're just going to prep and paint this. I know there's a slightly surfacey rust to the top of it. That's fine. I can clean all that up with one of the wheels I have. This fellow here, actually. That sucker. You'll be amazed how that does. So that'll take the surface rust out of the top there. I'm not even the least bit worried about that. We're going to paint from here up body color, and then obviously from here down and here back will be Raptor Coat. And that's why I had it sandblasted. I wanted to have a perfectly clean, fresh surface on the tray itself so that when I put Raptor on here, there's nothing under there that's going to rust back up through the Raptor. Once you Raptor something, there's not really much turning back on that. You've done it. If you have a rust issue in the future, it is going to be a giant headache. So we're going to make sure we don't have that. The black you're seeing, like I said in one of my other earlier videos, I just buy whatever can I can get my hands on at the time. That is a black zinc-based paint that is a satin finish. And it's fast drying, because that's way more convenient because I don't have a lot of spare time. And all I've done, stay, damn you, Jesus. Here, put it here, in the ribs and it can't fall over. I've just gone along, and this is the areas that were seam sealed previously, and put some black paint in there and let it dry. That way, when I go back over here with Sika Flex, it's not just going back to an undercoat, which is a porous surface. We've got a painted, shiny surface for it to stick to. So that's where that's at, done all the way around. Rust report, we do have some. The floor though, look at the floor. I know we got some dents in the wheel wells, which I don't care about. The floor is golden. Come around here. I've done a small rust repair up the front. You can barely even tell, other than the bad welding, but we've got bad light, so that makes it okay. There's a hole just here. I don't care, we're leaving it. There's another hole over here. Whoop. See how my finger disappears? Also don't care, leaving that one as well. That's not gonna bother me at all. You don't see it. And it's blasted from both sides, and I can paint it, so it'll never be a rust issue in the future either. So it's totally fine. Floor, on the other hand, is glorious. So happy with this tub, it's mint. There's really nothing to report. I had them sandblast in here as well. I'm going to paint that, but paint the back. I'll paint down here so it sort of all looks pretty. Tailgate got blasted too, but only on the inside. They taped it though. I don't know what it is. It's not much fun to get off. It is like duct tape, like proper duct tape with the material inside of it. But the problem I'm having here, I'd say we've had a bit of rain. They've obviously taped it so that it didn't get wet. But then this duct tape sitting outside has done this to me. Look at this. This is nasty. See all that left behind stuff? Ooh, that whiteness. Ugh. It is like nightmare to get off. I've already started over here. Done this little bit here up to here. It takes forever. I don't recommend it at all. Anyway, that is that. This will be prep for paint on top here with a few dents and whatnot. That dent's going to stay. I'm not going to focus on any of the big ones. I'm going to use this thing as a truck anyway. We'll focus on this. There's a little bit of surface rust in that. It's probably just a little bit more. So yeah, that's fine. Anyway, now that I've got this done, I'm going to go around with some Sika Flex. Where's my Sika Flex gone? I had that before. There it is. Left on the floor. Classic. So we're going to go with the 221. This is the same stuff you saw me use on the BA Falcon build. This is a white Sika Flex. It's actually the same stuff I used in the plenum on that thing. This is a leftover tube. Ooh, geez, that was louder than it needed to be. We're going to go through and we'll seal all of these back up. Sandblasting sort of knocked most of the seam sealer out anyway. Seam seal all of this back up. So when we come back in here with the Raptor Coat, we'll cover it all back up. And that will make it a bathtub with an opening on one end, I guess. But I've got some holes down that end that people have drilled, and it's not perfect down there, so water can still drain. I might bung? Do you bung a hole? That doesn't make much sense. I'm going to put a hole in each corner so water can get out. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say there, with no bungs in it. I think I need a rag. I've got this and I've got this, but I don't have a rag. 1 second, stay. Just stay there, I'll be back, I promise. Right, see, told you I'll be back, don't panic. It's all good. So, all we have to do is seal these up. It doesn't have to be super pretty because we're going to Raptor over the top of it. So it is literally just run a bead. Don't want to lay too much in. I'm going to do the messy finger trick. We could tape it all up nicely, and we could actually just leave it as a bead as well. But I like to mush it in there a bit. Make sure it sort of adheres better, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. If you just leave it sitting on top, which is pretty much all the factory would have done, it's just sitting there, even though I've used the gun and I pushed it in there a little bit. It does look nice as a bead. There's also that factor. But longevity is probably more important to me than looks. And with Raptor over the top of this, trust me, it'll look fine. So all I do is just push it in with my finger, like so. If you initially make sure you don't put too much on, then this part of the process is fine. Now, here's a good example of while I do it. This bit here, I'm a little bit light. The panel's not quite flat here, which means I can come back like so. Just a little bit more product and push that into that area. And sometimes if you go backwards and forwards like that, it just sort of moves it and makes it sort of tacky and adhere to the surface better. So, that's the process. I've got a lot of tray here to do. Fill the grooves, basically. Man, that is a good bead. Should have been a plumber. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a good looking bead. And if we were going to do a nice paint job on this tray, that would be mint. But we're not. Oop. We're going to Raptor coat it. So if you go like this, and then just feather those edges back over, when the Raptor sits on top, it'll actually just be a smooth surface. It'll come up really nicely. And this is just literally rinse and repeat across the entire, that was two words blended together. You won't find that in the dictionary. Over the entire surface of it, until we totally seal this sucker up. We will be golden for Raptor, and then we won't have rust issues down the track. It's all about longevity here. Woo! Alright, that's enough talking. I better rip into this. There's a lot of seam sealing to do. And just like that, and with most of that, we are seam sealed everywhere. Just a glorious sight. I can't believe how well this thing came out with a sandblast. It's just such a good tray. Underneath looks equally as good. It was all covered in surface rust underneath, and I was really quite concerned that if I didn't do something about it, like now, it would be worse. Like it looked like this surface here. Funnily enough, it doesn't look like that over here. Don't know what that's about. But, so the hole underneath of it looked like that. Just no paint left on it, surface rust breaking through everywhere. And with the sandblast, it's ridiculous. It just looks like it's brand new. So we'll actually tip this whole thing up on that end probably. I haven't actually worked this out yet. Don't even know how they sandblasted it. Probably tip it up on that end over there. I've got some black paint, some underbody black. I don't know. It's black and it goes underneath the car. We'll do the hole underneath of this tray with that. Once this cures up, we can start on the Raptor liner, which I'm very excited about. Full kit, full of bottles. It's a big surface area. I think it's going to take at least 3. I'm happy to blow 4 onto it. I want a great coating on here that's going to last for many, many years. So yeah, we'll let that dry up. That's that. Tick that box, done that. Yep, nearly out of that stuff. Might need to grab some more next time because we've got the whole cab seal on that thing. That's fine. Yep, no, we're good. Let's get some Raptor coat. So the tray up. Figured I can get 2 sides in one hit. I wasn't going to do this. I was just going to lay it down like you saw. But I thought, bugger it. Let's stand it up in the air and I'll get both sides. Bring it around and give you a look. I am definitely a fan of sandblasting. Get a hang of that. That's the whole thing all blasted and ready to go. So, it's in a industrial etch, whatever they put on it when they blast it. So I'm just going to paint clean over that with some black. It's got some chassis black. That'll do that. And whilst it's up in the air like that, I can get both sides. This plan is genius. I'm going to set some lighting up. As the sun goes down, you can see it's getting dark out there. I'm going to need some light on this side so I can see what the bloody hell I'm doing. But you can see there this. I like this particular Sika Flex because it has that, it says it doesn't sink back, but it actually does. And that works in your favor. It sinks right in there and looks really nice. So that is it. Look at the sheer size of this darn thing. It's a bloody big tray. So anyway, that's the tray. Real Raptor this side. And we'll just black this side. It's Raptor time, people. This is my Raptor kit. These come with 4 bottles and everything you need to make it work, which is really cool. I'll show you what we get here. We get 4 of these little guys. We get a measuring cup, which looks like that. It's just got a line here, and you fill that up with the hardener. And once you fill this to the correct line with the hardener, undo the lid, tip him into here. You shake the absolute bejesus out of it. Screw this fellow into here and go spray Raptor. It's that easy. About 40 psi is a great spraying pressure for what it's worth. I did buy a new regulator for this. I don't know where that is. So anyway, we'll do the old, just like pinch the airline off until it sprays nice and trick. That'll do that. Underneath the truck, we have Septone Chassis Black. It was, well, that was the one they had in stock. No particular reason for that choice. I will thin it slightly with the GP thinners. And this is the spray gun I use on the BA Falcon. It's pretty much shot. It won't fan, it's splotchy. It's pretty much had it. But for spraying the underside of this, I actually don't really want to fan a whole lot. We need to get right up into all the parts of the tray and lots of little flats, and there's lots of spots, so I'm going to give it one more run on that. I do have a new gun for spraying the truck, a really nice new gun, so that's going to get us through this part of the job. So all I'm going to do now is just mix up some of these two in the pot, straight up, nothing difficult. I've got some strainers, don't know where I put them. I will strain it just to be sure, and we'll get into the underside of this tray.
She's getting it. It's a lot to do. It's soaking up a lot. You can see it's a bit streaky. I really don't see why it's going on really thick, and that heavy primer will do its undercoat. So yeah, we're coming along. Spray away.
Yep, I think that's definitely the wrong product altogether. It's not what I had in mind, not what I wanted, but I think it's nice to do this, and I'm committed. So I did the right thing and emptied the entire litre all over the tray. What this is a rust preventative, I believe. I got the tin right here. Yeah, I touched it. Let me swing it around. That's what I've used. It is a black bituminous, say that word, protective coating. It's kind of not black, but brown then black, and it smells like diesel. I think it's actually to go over painted surfaces. However, if you count the undercoat, which is an industrial undercoat, like it's to prevent rust, as a painted surface, I suppose we could probably pull this off in some fashion. I don't bloody know. I just sprayed it on there, all right? Yeah, it's a little streaky. It's really actually soaking right in. It was a bit glossier there before. Look, I'll zoom out a little. There you go. You get the idea, right? It's black. Underneath the tray is now black. I think I'll just go back over it with some more black when I get some more black. That won't be tonight. So anyway, I don't know. How upset could I be? I needed black. It's now black. So, yeah, there you have it. It's a bit streaky. You can kind of see down there that it's not real good. But I can get that when it's back on the truck. I really just needed this part of the floor coated so that when I throw it back on, if I want to go back over it, I can. And I think I will. Anyway, whatever. So be it. Let's go play with Raptor Coat. I know what Raptor Coat is and how it works. This one, I've done a lot of these. We're okay. In my defense, I thought this was like an enamel. And I think what's going wrong is when I have said to them at the paint shop, Kustom Paints at Woomby, my favourite paint shop, I said I need an underbody chassis black. Now, I meant I just need like a quick dry enamel to spray on the underside of the tray. They've gone, cool, chassis black. And they've run and grabbed tin chassis black. So I guess in my bad lingo, I got what I asked for. It'll work, not too bothered. Should be fine, right? Should be a big tray. Anyway, what I'm doing is if you look here, you can see where I haven't sanded. And all I'm doing is just going along and taking that surface out of it. It's going to give me a nice even area to paint to. Woo! I'm down here. I started up there. It's a bloody big tray. So I'm just gonna go through to all of this and scuff the surface. It's kind of like a looseness to the surface, and I want this to adhere really nicely, so I'm just doing the whole thing real quick, and then we'll Raptor. Well, that is that. That was a lot of sanding. It's a big tray. It took forever. But anyway, I'm glad I did it. When I saw how porous the underside was and it soaked up all that other coating, which, like I say, is not the right coating, but it's the coating we got. I thought we'd better sand that because I don't want it just to like lap up the Raptor and waste on my product. Now I found my pressure rig. It came today. Another shameless Kustom Paints plug. They're not sponsored or anything. I just used them for, I don't know, forever and a day, and they've always really done a great thing by me, so I'm happy with them. Happy to recommend them. That's where I'm going with that. This is a Loctite product. It's quite old now, but I can't even read it. It's a gas and diesel safe product. So therefore it's going to be perfect for this. Come here, little guy. It's just a Teflon style one, but it's resistant to a bunch of stuff. Really not applicable here, but that doesn't really matter right now because it'll be more than sufficient for the job. You can see behind me we're prepped. I've got it all taped up now as well. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Come around here a little bit further. Like that. No, like that. Sheer strength wins. So now I can tell my air pressure. It's going to do two things. When you spray it with a lower pressure, it gives you that more rough, stippled effect to it, instead of the product just sort of laying flat and looking clumpy. So that part's nice. Also, I found spraying in the past at 40 psi, you use considerably less product. So instead of just going and like having to chase it and go as fast as you possibly physically can, this will allow me a lot more control. I can get in all my corners and do a really neat job of it. So pressure rig, I think it was like 40 bucks or something silly like that. It wasn't expensive. The gun's not expensive either. So that is that piece of information for you. Now this is dead simple. All we're going to do, probably put the lid back on that, is we take the hardener. Yeah, hardener. It's just a two-part stage. It's really simple. Pop the lid, undo this, take the lid off this one real fast. Undo this lid, pull a little piece out of the middle, close your eyes doing it. It splashes in your eyes. It really isn't much fun. Now, like I said, this has a full line on it. It's actually written on the inside for convenience. Anyway, I don't know if you can see the line there. That is the line. All we do is fill it up to there. Blob, 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 blob. Now this kind of acts as a reducer as well. It's quite a thin hardener. So it semi-reduces the product so that it's good to go. And there is just enough in this tin to fill up all 4 bottles this way. All we do is take that. The bottle has an air gap in the top of it, designed for this. Concentration is what I've got here. Lots of concentration. Nice. And you put the lid back on, and you do the shaky shake dance. Make sure it's on tight. I always put a finger on the top, and then we just got to do this for at least a couple of minutes. That way it all mixes in properly. So 3 minutes later. Okay, unscrew said lid. Thank you for your services. Screw the gut in. Like so. There's an air hole in the top, so don't lay it on its side. Then it'll be met with regret. Not too tight. And that is us. I'll set my air pressures when I hook it up to the gun. Oh, it's upside bloody down. That's how it goes. Anyway, we'll read it upside down. Be fine. Cool. Let's go spray this thing. That's one down. That's it. It's that simple. The pressure reg makes a big difference. Like to get that bar on, we'll call it a third or a quarter-ish through. It will probably take all of these bottles to get this tray done. It's a decent sized tray. But I'm okay with that. I think that's about the right quantity. Leave that there for a second while we mix up the next one. Same process, tear the lid off, repeat, keep spraying. So let's get it done. 2 bottles down. Go for number 3. I think we can get this in 3. That would be nice. Slide up another one and go again. 3 coats. 3 coats, 1 coat, 3 bottles. Close enough, you get the idea. I laid it on nice and thick. Being able to control your air pressure is the key to this. If you don't control your air pressure, you'll just blow through heaps of it. We've easily put 4 into this and have it like thick and kind of gluggy looking. This leaves a much nicer finish, and it's mint. Now, as far as cleanup goes, we're just going to clean up with thinners. It cleans up really easily. You have to excuse the fan I've got in the background, but it does lead me to the next thing I want to tell you. It doesn't really have any overspray. Pretty much next to none. I haven't taped the floor or anything. You can see I've only done minimum taping around the sides. It doesn't have an overspray to it, but it does have a really strong chemical smell. Anything like with your 2-packs and whatnot, that odor to it. So I'm wearing the face mask, and the fan just circulates the air and just gets that, I don't know, that smell out of the place a lot quicker. So that's the only reason for the fan. But I nearly forgot the tailgate. I want to go grab the tailgate. I've got to prep the thing, and we've got to, lucky I've got a bottle left. That could have gone south on me. Well, all 4 bottles are now expired. Just enough hardener. They really measure it quite well. So that's my last bottle done and dusted. I did the tailgate, which came up nicely, and then I had a fair bit left in the bottle, and I just went and did a dust coat over the entire thing, and it takes that shine out of it and gives it more of a duller finish. This is a great thing to do if you've got enough bottles. I've only once had enough bottles. I never ever just, I don't know, I seem to have just enough to do the job. The air pressure, that helps. And all I've done here is spray it with the gun further away and just dusted the whole thing over. And it just leaves it with a better effect, and it gives you that sort of more of a matte finish, I suppose, instead of being so shiny, even though the sun does dull it off a fair bit. That is that. Like I say, cleans up with thinners, so that part's super easy as well. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean all this up. Clean gun, and I put the lids back on all the bottles, package her back up, throw her in the bin. It has done its job. A glorious job that is. Does that go that way? I don't know. Who cares? We don't worry about that. This is my favourite part. Take the tape off. Gently, because it's still a bit wet. But I want to see it. Oh, come on. Look at that. Nice crisp line. Yep. So what I actually did there was I had an aerosol can of the colour of the car mixed up previously, so that I could back paint this area. I've done this before without doing that. The problem you run into is the tape, when you go to paint your body colour, doesn't actually stick to the Raptor. For whatever reason, tape just doesn't stick to this stuff. I'm sure over time it probably would, but initially it just won't. So when you go to spray next to it, it blows the tape clean off. It's the right pain in the backside. So I'm slowly learning as time goes on. It's a slow process. But anyway, that is cool. I'm very happy with that. Alright, well I'm going to untape this. I'll untape all of this, and I guess it's nearly time to throw it in the back of the truck. I'm just going to throw it back on the truck for now because I'm working on a few other bits, and it's really in the way. I need to get it just out of the, you know, floating around the workshop here. It's not convenient having the tray floating around. I've got the gasser chassis, it's floating around as well. Bunch of projects on the go at the moment, so I just need to put it back together a little bit. Would be nice, yeah, that'd be good. This is the exciting bit. So this is where I back painted it before we taped it, and you can really get the idea of how glorious this truck is going to look. It's a teaser that I need right now. It really is. Very happy with that. That's going to look sensational. Hot damn, that is killer. Tailgate's down there. This is going along well. So that is that. You can't really see the backside. Funnily enough, that stuff has settled somewhat better than I thought it would. And it's nice, flat and consistent, so I'm not even mad about that. It is, as it says, petroleum based, what do they say? Bitumen. But it's dry to the touch and you can rub it, it's not a problem, but you can scratch it off with your fingernail, or but then it's like self-heals. I don't know, it's bizarre. I'm not mad about that coating. I quite like it actually. I think for the underbody it's going to be perfect. Look at the glorious Raptor coated tray. Well, with this sensational backdrop, look at it. I'm going to sign this video off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. Raptor coating is dead easy. Everyone can do it at home. It is all in the prep. Once you get yourself back to a good base material, your steel and you etch prime it, lay down some Raptor. It's super simple. It lasts a long time and it's a great look and finish and protective coating for the back of your truck. So get after it. Thank you very much, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.